One of the very best things you can do for your course business is to do some simple planning and thinking ahead for the next year. And so I didn't want this to turn into a big, complicated thing. So I've got 3 questions I want you to consider, and I'll give you some ideas and some direction for the new year ahead. So let's get to it.
Welcome to the Course Creators HQ podcast, helping you navigate the latest techniques for creating and marketing online courses. And now, here is your host, Julie Hood.
Hey there. Oh my goodness. So excited you are here for this episode because it's one of those kind of tricky little things that could either make a huge difference if you spend some time on it, or if you don't, you could be missing out for the year ahead. So I've tried to keep this as easy as possible. I know sometimes we can get crazy with the planning and the planning and the planning and planning and planning too much. So we don't want to go there, but we do want to have some direction and some ideas and some thoughts. And I'll put some related episodes in here for you to pull out some other ways you can move forward. So definitely spend a little time on these questions. And also I have a little bonus for you. So I put together this jumbo offer, and it was supposed to be Black Friday, but things have gotten so busy. I've gotten 2 more big clients that are keeping me hopping that I haven't had time to update it. So guess what? You still get the offer until I get a chance to turn it off. So the link's in the show notes, but you can go to coursecreatorshq.com/jumbo offer. And it's actually the best offer I have ever pulled together. So if you have wanted some guidance, some help, some clarity for the next 6 months to build your online course business, please check out the link, coursecreatorshq.com/jumbo offer. What I'm doing is pulling together both the 24-hour course creator program, which we're going to be doing in January, plus Course Profits Accelerator, which is my coaching program to help you get things going. So the combination of the two will be able to rock your business for the year ahead. And so it's the best price you've ever seen, and I am going to turn it off one of these days when it gets to the top of the to-do list. So if you haven't jumped on that, please check it out. And then the other thing I wanted to mention, I do have a planner that's really fun and kind of pretty to use if you want to go grab that. It's not dated, so you can use it anytime, but it might be perfect with this episode. And as you're thinking about things, just pull out the pages that you like and that you're interested in. And it's at coursecreatorshq.com/2025 planner podcast. The link is in the show notes too, so definitely check that out. And let's jump in to these questions. So I am a little bit of a fanatic about organizing and planning. You wouldn't be able to tell it by the way my desk looks, but I really do like to have things laid out and thought through. And so I thought I would share some of these ideas with you today, but not make it turn into this whole big long thing. I wanted to keep it straightforward. So as I was going through, I thought, what are the 3 most important and most impactful questions that you can ask yourself in order to move your business forward in 2025. So here are the 3 questions. They are in the show notes, so you can come back to them. And I'm going to give you like the questions, and then I'm going to come back and kind of walk you through each one of them and give you a little bit more detail. So here's the 3 questions as you are getting started. First one is, how can I make my offers better? So this one is so important. Please take a moment to really think about what it is you're offering and how could you take it to the next level? Like, how could you provide more value? How could you expand it out? How could you give your course students even more answers, solutions, ways that you could move things forward? And when I mean this, I'm not necessarily saying that you have to do more work. Just what other things could you provide? And I'll give you an example. One of the things we have been running into, and this is kind of a problem, I think, in general for course creators that do anything live, is trying to hit time zones. Because if you hit a time zone that works in the US, it may not work in the UK, or it's not good for folks in Australia. It's the middle of the night. So sorry for all the Australia folks that get stuck with stuff in the middle of the night. And so I was trying to figure out, like, how could this work better? So one of the things I've done with my one-on-one coaching clients is I have them working through WhatsApp with me, and we're actually accomplishing more than we did when they were coming to either once a month calls or when they were coming even to the weekly calls, because they Voxer me or they will WhatsApp me a message, and then I can get back to them when it fits, when I'm awake and not in the middle of the night, but whenever I'm awake, and then I get back to them. And so they're getting a lot more attention without it really being that much more work for me. Now, you probably do want to be cautious about setting some boundaries. I think I mentioned, a couple check-ins a week, I think was where I set it at, but it hasn't been an issue. The clients on this have been wonderful, and hopefully it's also been helpful for them to be able to get a little bit further along with what they are doing. Instead of having to wait until the next month's call, they can just call in and leave a note, and then I get back to them. So you can also do video too. If they want to share something, they can share a video. So that's just one simple thing about making your offers better. But the more irresistible, the more interesting you can make them, the better it's going to be, and the easier it is to sell your offers. So spend some time contemplating, what can I offer in a new way, in a different way? What I think every course creator, I'll be honest, you really do need to have one-on-one offers, because in addition to selling your courses, you use these one-on-one offers as really good capital building until you get your sales going. It's a great way to have some regular, especially if you set it up where you're working with somebody for multiple months. It's a great way to have some ongoing income. So, maybe you need to add a one-on-one offer for the new year. And what could that look like? And what could you offer? How could you help without it, taking over all of your time? And maybe that's where you limit it to a certain number of people. So lots that you can play with here about making irresistible offers, and lots of options. So if you want some help with that, jump into that coaching for that jumbo offer, because we do spend time really looking at what are people putting together and what are you offering to your potential clients. So that's question number one, is how can I make my offers better? And I will link to episode number 97, which is even more detailed on making your offers more irresistible. So you can listen to that one if you're interested in finding out more. So that's question number one. Question number two, are you ready? Ready for this one? Is, how can I get in front of more people? How can I get in front of more people? And I'll be honest, this one is a tough one. And it's also like an essential piece of the puzzle. And most of the time when I'm talking with my course creators, once they've gotten over the hurdle of making sure they have a good offer and they've got it targeted to a specific audience, this is where they get hung up, is trying to find their audience and trying to get in front of them and get in front of enough people so that they are able to reach the people who are ready to buy. So if you've heard me mention in the past the rule of 97, And that is exactly what it sounds like, in that 97 of the people who see your offer probably aren't ready to buy at the moment. So you want to catch those 3 buyers, and then the other 97 get on your email list. They get to know you. They get to nurture with you. They listen to your podcast, or they watch your YouTube videos, or they connect with you on social media. And they get to the point where they believe that you are the person that can help them solve this big problem that they have in their life. Plus, they're willing to pay to solve that problem. So thinking about how am I going to get in front of more people is one of your main goals as your CEO of your course business, because this is your lifeblood to keep your business going. You're constantly on the lookout for more ways to make this work. And there's so many options. So in one way, that's great. There are so many things for you to explore. The challenge with this is there's so many things for you to explore that you could be spending a lot of time in a lot of different directions and maybe not getting the exact audience that you're wanting. So I like to have 2 different places, one that you know your audience is going to hang out, and then one that you're experimenting with and trying and testing. So, and if you do that every quarter, then you have something specific that you're doing to make sure you're reaching people. So I'll give you an example. In January, I'm going to be in 2 different summits so that I can get in front of some new people and get new folks jumping on the list. And that's just, one thing that I'm trying. So think about where your audience is and how could you participate and connect with them. So one of the things I have some of my clients thinking about is exactly where is your audience and how could you partner with the people who are already working with them? What are some things that you could do? So we get into brainstorming that and really thinking about how are we going to put you out in front of the most people that are ready to find and fix the challenges that they've got in front of them. So how can you get in front of more people? And then question number 3, this is our last one. This is the fun one, I think. And that is, what will you create in 2025? And by create, I mean all pieces of the creation puzzle. So not only what courses will you create, but will you have a new mini course? Are you going to create content in a certain way? So are you blogging? Are you doing videos? Are you doing YouTube? Are you doing the some of the new AI tools to help you get even better content? And then what are you creating for social media? And I will link to another episode about kind of how I handle the social media side of things. One of the things I want to put out a warning about for you is that don't assume that social media is the place where you should be spending all of your time on content. And part of the problem with this is that social media, like Instagram, for example, you could spend so much time there, but the content tends to disappear. So and go on down the feed and it doesn't get the attention maybe that it could. So what I want you to be doing is having both long-term and short-term content. So the short-term Instagram reels, those kinds of things to get you in front of new people, but then also some kind of long-term content that's going to live on forever and sending you new people and new listeners, or new followers or new connections. So long term, there's a whole episode on this that I will also link to, but it includes things like blogging on your website so that you can connect with folks. It includes things like podcasting, because the podcast episodes hang out there and people can go back and binge your podcast. It's in a video. If you want to do YouTube, videos are a great place for you to get connected and then stay connected as people stumble across your videos in the future. Now, you do have to spend some time and some effort on doing it correctly so that you're not wasting your time creating a video channel that nobody's listening to. So this is kind of the 3A part of this question, is what are you going to invest in to help you with the creation side of things? So are you going to invest in a specific course to train you on YouTube? Or are you going to invest in a special coach to help you figure out where you should be focusing? Like, what is the investment level that you have, and what will be the most impactful to move you forward in the year ahead? So think about those questions. I'll recap them for you. Number 1, how can I make my offers better? Number 2, how can I get in front of more people? Number 3, what will I create in 2025? And then as a subset of that, what will I invest in to improve my ability to move forward and my ability to create? What is it, coaching or is it course? What am I going to invest in, basically? And I hope this gave you some food for thought. It's one of those things that you may not have the answers immediately, but let it mull over the next few weeks as we head into the new year. Start making some notes, and then really plan for a 90-day sprint. And I'll also link to that episode for you, because I love having you focus on 3 months at a time. It's so much more powerful than trying to figure out the whole year. So I'll link to that episode. So lots of fun stuff for you to think about and consider and mull over. And I have this feeling that 2025 is going to be such an incredible year for creators, and so much better and more effective than 2024 was. That's just my kind of gut feeling right now, is I think it's going to be an easier and hopefully much, much better year, because it was a tough year for a lot of folks online. I saw that firsthand. So hopefully that is not going to be repeated. We're going to have an even better year in 2025. So I can't wait to get to connect with you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening and subscribing, following, connecting, sharing this podcast in your groups that you are in and with your other fellow course creators. I so appreciate it. Thank you for being here, and have an amazing, wonderful week. Our episodes might be slightly off kilter because we're heading into Christmas and New Year's and Hanukkah. So if the episodes come on a different day, just hang with me. And definitely we'll get back on schedule in January. So take care, and I will talk to you soon. Hope you're having a wonderful week.